Hello there, so the book I decided to read this week was Hollow City by Ransom. It's the sequel to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and oh my gosh, this was such a good book. If you haven't picked up the original yet, please do and just join me on this journey. It's fantastic. If you have picked up the first one and haven't done this one yet, it just came out supposedly like in the last couple months. I didn't know that. I've jumped on this train at the right friggin' time. Just pick it up. It's a thrill ride, man. This is a really good book. It's the first time since I've read Harry Potter, which was back when I read all the time, that I'm anticipating a book now. I'm like, oh man, can't wait for the new Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children book comes out. That's really cool. I'm feeling good about books again. So before I get into anything spoilery, please pick up this book if you haven't yet. It's great. Do it. Thrill ride, through and through. Good book. Yes. Okay, on with the spoilers, so if you're watching after this and you haven't read the book yet, you're a bad person. Let's go on. So they're sailing on their boat, passing some battleships, okay, standard. I don't really know where the story's gonna go from here. They land on the shore, the people are looking for them who don't really know what the army's doing. Maybe they think they're German spies. It's kind of confusing for a bit. The whole love relationship starts to spark up a bit more, which, like I said, really creepy, not a big fan. They run through a forest away from the people. Something that really confused me is the whole time they had this big, oh man, they're being chased. They're right behind them, they have dogs. Dogs are not easily confused, okay? You can't just go through a river and be like, magical river, absolve us of the dog's scent. No, it's probably not gonna happen. And then after they're running, they just find a tree and just hide in it. I kept thinking, okay, well, when are they gonna find them? Because they have dogs. I know they went through a river, but the dogs will be like, either way, so they hid from the people, miraculously, fate you could say. They found the menagerie thanks to their book. Yay, talking dogs and emu rafts. Let's just be honest about the emu raft. What the frick? I saw the picture, the photo. It's a weird looking animal, okay? It's very peculiar. So they had a fun time in the little menagerie. They left their little friend who was a little bit ill. Either way, like I said, not good with names in this book. There are way too many characters. However, at this point, I begin to feel a little bit upset that in my last video when I talked about how much I liked the original book, how much I enjoyed Enoch, because he was the one character in this book besides Jacob and Emma that I felt had a very overarching personality that affected other characters, whereas other characters in the book just kind of, who's you? What's your name? I don't even know. You're this invisible man, and man with a top hat. But Enoch was like, yo, he'll Enoch your face. But in this one, the author really wanted you to know, Enoch is a big douchebag. I mean, he tried to hint at it, and I still wanted to like him, but he just would not let me like this character. It'd be like, oh man, what's the point of life, guys? Maybe we should keep living. He'd just be like, let's just die. Frig it. I don't care. Come on. He'd just be mean to everyone and just be really dismal. Still got a cool power, though. Anyway, so they get out of the menagerie. They're trying to find Miss Wren, who's one of the Imbrins that'll hopefully save Mrs. What's her name? And they go on a journey through the woods. They find these gypsies who they kind of hitch a ride on, and they have a peculiar son, so that's lovely. And they end up being nice to him eventually. However, when they're on their way onto a train, it turns out that the whites have caught them, and they have guns. So they kind of have to go back to this cabin. They interrogate them and kind of rough them up a bit, but they didn't catch Hugh. Mr. Bees! Mr. Bees, he just throws up everywhere, and the bees kill everything except for the peculiar children and their gypsy friends. So that's great. Took out the whites. Fantastic. And then they, go through this journey back to London through some time loops, as you do. They find a telekinetic girl. Fantastic. You got some telekinesis. I've been waiting for that one. And they don't find Miss Wren. They do find a pigeon that can lead them to Miss Wren that the telekinetic girl has. Okay, good plot device, I guess. Let's use that bird. Miss Peregrine, though, is being a little odd. She's been helping them throughout the way, but she's kind of being a jerk in bird form, like a jerky bird. Big old bird jerk. And it's kind of peculiar, you could say. So they end up running from these hollows in Hollow City. They hide with this lovely little family of his two sisters that don't want to be separated, just in a bathtub. And then Enoch, what a saint, decides to entertain the one girl that's scared with a little clay figure. However, he's using his power, and supposedly the Hollows can sense it. Crap! Luckily, a bomb goes off and coincidentally kills the Hollows. However, turns out that one of the sisters, the normals, not normal, has a shaft through her stomach. This girl right here, she's lovely. I love seeing the picture. It never said Hollow City. You just have to assume it's London. Everyone on the tube is so hollow. They don't even talk to me. Anyway, so this is the girl. She's got a hole through her chest and just keeps on living. However, because Miss Peregrine poked a hole in the ambulance tire and then Enoch was like, normals suck, this girl was not about to join the Peculiars. I was a bit upset because it'd be useful to have someone that can constantly regenerate. That'd be useful. Supposedly she dies in the future. Foreboding Mr. Top Hat says. So they end up finding a different time loop which takes them back in time a bit further, and they find a circus, you know, and they have those freak shows, and they're like, maybe we'll find some Peculiars here. Nope, these people, they seem a little bit weird, but they're not peculiar, except for this Foldy man. He's pretty weird. Let's ask him where Miss Wren is. I don't know, man, don't ask me. Liar. He's totally peculiar. Spoilers. And so they end up finding Miss Wren near this frozen building, and then she lets them in, which is fantastic, except they go through this process of finding out all the freak shows are also peculiars. They're trying to start an army to stop the whites. Great! Getting some feelings that this is definitely not the end of this book series, which is good. I really wanted to read another one. And then it comes to the point where they're trying to revive Miss Wren, the, you know, ambulance tire poking, pigeon murdering, I didn't mention that, but she kind of murdered the pigeon that was helping them, just threw it against a wall and snapped its neck, and you're like, dude, Miss Peregrine, you can take a chill pill, man. This bird is taking over your brain. So Miss Wren uses her powers and she brings Miss Peregrine back from bird form. Too bad it's not Miss Peregrine. The biggest plot twist I did not see coming. It's a freaking dude just standing naked and he's like, what's up? You're basically my prisoner. It was basically like Doug from Up, who's like, will you be my prisoner? I'm naked, please give me some trousers, but you're kind of under my provision right now. I've got a whole army of whites. I'm Miss Peregrine's brother. And I can also turn into a peregrine. Kind of tricked you guys on the U-boat. Hey! Oh man, that was seriously like a big hit of a what is happening? I can't even... It also got to a very odd point when they're being arrested, basically, because they tried to take out this dude, but he kills the ice girl who had the place protected, and then the whites get in and kind of, like, arrest them. They take them to the present London Underground, but some weird stuff happens, there's a fight, and then they get, it's just Emma and Jacob and the dog. The dog comes back to save the day, and they get trapped in like a phone booth while the other ones end up being taken away by the whites, and then a hollow comes and starts to attack them, and Jacob just gives in. He just gives in and goes, oh, I can totally talk hollow. Back the F up, man. And the hollow's just like, yo, don't want no... I was just about to murder you, had my tongues around your neck, but... I'm scared of you now. So it just kind of backs up and he's like, yo, don't worry about this, guys. I got this. My name is Jacob Portman, and I'm better than my gramps. So that's kind of how the book ended. You kind of left with a big cliffhanger of how is he going to save his friends. He obviously cannot go back to the present time with his dad now, because like right when he's at that time, his dad's calling him and he's like, you're alive, I missed you so much. And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of like really like my grandpa, sorry bro. Dad. Emma was trying to convince him to go to the present and kind of just stay there where he belongs. He shouldn't really be with her despite how much she likes him, / his grandpa. And so through that whole little conflict that was going on earlier, now he's like, well crap. I can't really stay, can I? Because all my friends are gone, and if I leave, you guys are just gonna murder me anyway. So he's like, sorry, Dad, I'm not finished here. I've got stuff to do. Boom! It's time for book 3. Oh my gosh! I ended that book like, yeah, I want more. I want more of this. So, did you read this book? I hope to God you read this book and you're this far into the video. What did you think? Because seriously, it is a great book. I really enjoyed this. Tell me your thoughts. The next book I'll be reading this week is either going to be Will Grayson, which I've never read, by John Green. I have some books that you guys have suggested. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was on there. I have 1984. There's a lot of books. I'm hoping to figure out a way to kind of list what I'm reading, so that way if you guys want to join in and read books with me once a week, it'll be fun. We'll have a book club. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tell me what you thought of Hollow City, and if you're stoked for the third one, I will see you guys next week on EvanBooks. Goodbye.